Today, we're gonna investigate the sound generation step, that is, the source. For that, we gotta learn about oscillators. Oscillators, as the name implies, oscillate. In this case, they produce oscillating digital signals, thus making waves that represent sound. So it's gonna create waves like the sine wave you saw earlier. The most common waves you see oscillators making are sine waves, saw waves, triangle waves, and square waves. I assume they're common because they were easy to generate on the early days of analog synthesizers, since they used algorithms to generate signals, but that's just my guess. Of course, there are countless other possibilities for waves, and you're gonna see other waves eventually. Then again, there is also noise oscillators that instead of generating waves, generate random noise. Sounds horrible, I know, but it actually has applications. Some synths allow you to also smoothly change the shape of waves on the fly. So, for example, you could shift a triangle wave to a saw and vice versa. Or changing the width of a square wave, many if not most synthesizers have this feature. But that's a single oscillator. Many synthesizers allow you to work with 2, 3, multiple oscillators at the same time. Sometimes you just want to combine the oscillators independently. Sometimes there's a secondary oscillator which purposes to aid the first one. Other times there is an oscillator that, instead of having its signal generate sound, will change the first oscillator in some way or another, and we're gonna look at that on the next chapter. There are some other forms of generating sound that are not based on wave shapes. For example, we have samplers, which play a sample back in a way that they work as instruments. Samplers are not usually considered synthesizers, since it's not really synthesizing, but replicating a sound. But many synthesizers provide sampling capabilities in their sound-making features. Granular synthesizers take that concept further, playing a sample in chunks and allowing to modify the length of the grains, their speed, pitch, and intervals between each grain. There are the additive synthesizers as well, conceptualized around Fourier's idea of adding signs. Additive synths, instead of giving you a wave to work with, give you a panel of sine waves at different pitches to toggle, or adjust their amplitudes. In a sense, you make a sound thinking of the spectrum instead of the wave shape. Some wavetable synthesizers and additive synthesizer cross the line between oscillator and sampler. In software like Serum, Surge, and even Modulare's wavetable module, you feed a sample which is broken down into individual waves. Image lines Morphin and Harmor have you feeding a sample which is reconstructed via additive synthesis, allowing you to work with its underlying harmonics. And the possibilities don't end there. Just with the ways you can combine oscillators, you can already get a plethora of different timbres.